Welcome back, people, to our lovely Shedwars garden. And this is another installment. We're going to give you a go over. There's some exciting things growing here, and we're going to do some harvest. With the exciting thing that's growing, we're going to start down here because this is the mortgage lifter tomato. And look what we have. It's starting to flower. The plants are healthy. I have 2 full months to get tomatoes off of this, and for all of August at least we'll have great weather for fruit set. So we'll have ripe tomatoes and seeds for next year. These are the lettuce. We're going to come back to those in just a bit to do something about it. The dill, I mean, look at how long this is growing. They've grown wonderfully. The Swiss chard, baby red, was it? I think something like that. Anyway, they're growing beautifully, and those are coming along. But even though they haven't bolted, I found just heat makes the lettuce bitter. Now, speaking of bitter, what else I found out? So this is Butter Crunch. I'll put the name up on the screen. It does go bitter, but it's a matter of preference. Some people like bitters. I like them, and especially using this with the Italian dressing made a very good salad. What I did find out also, this is salad bowl red. Even though it's bolting, it hasn't gone bitter. 27 degrees Celsius, bolting, still not bitter. So this is definitely a keeper. Tasty, yes, but in the morning shade of the maple tree, I would have expected these peas to grow much better than what they did. I only got 2 plants out of 5, and as you can see, this one is, well, it's growing, but only as good as the ones down front, which I'm blaming on lack of water, and it has put out some peas, so you get a taste. That one over there is hardly growing at all. We've mentioned the sunflower several times. Black oil sunflower, in my opinion, is one of the best varieties for just growing out in a garden bed or something, because they're nice and stocky, and you don't have to stake them. They'll just grow up like that, and that's as high as they grow. This one now is about ready to open up. At the base of the sunflower, not yet, but this is how these type of, the patty pan type of squash grows. That's a big bunch of male flower buds here, and pretty soon it'll start putting out female flower buds. So we're most likely going to get a Benning's green tint squash. The beets that we re-sowed as a fall crop, they're not growing very well. We'll see. It might be, well, these type of beets, they don't grow very well in the heat anyway. Heat stresses them out. Sugar beets, as you can see, they're growing better, and they can handle temperatures up to about 28 degrees. Really, I've seen them go and they're like, heat? What heat? The turnip are coming along nicely. Let's see, I got to get you around here. This is about as big as a yellow pear tomato grows. and you look at the plant, they're doing wonderfully. It's extremely healthy plant, this is, and that one as well. That one is not as good, but he's healthy. And as I've been saying, a yellow pear tomato is what I've found to be about the hardiest of the tomatoes that I've grown so far. Lacinato kale, even out here in full sun, I think if we add a bit more rain, that would be doing much better. So we've got one here that didn't do very well, and it's well eaten, but these two over here have, and they're not really getting very damaged with the cabbage moth. And so if I had say been more up on irrigation, maybe they would have grown better, but I've been too busy, but that's another story. So early on, when I put this garlic chives here, I was kind of worried the leaves actually still look like they're around it. But they're coming along. I have 3 plants, and if you can see there inside profile, the leaves are flat. Looking a real lot like just grass. But it is a chives, garlic chives. So if they're round, they're onion chives. If they're flat, they're garlic chives. Next year I'm going to take one of these and transplant it over to my herb garden. I did cut off the tops of the perennial onions because I needed some green onion for something. This plant, the leaves are not as big. It matured a lot faster than the one over in the shady plot, and that might be just that reason, because it is out in full sun. It's dock, curly dock, I believe. It has a couple of different uses. One is the leaves, the other is the seeds and their shuck. What I'm looking there now is to see if I can find the bug. I can't really see it. But what I want to say is that there is a bug called a leaf miner, and what they do, they get inside the leaf and they eat out in between the upper and lower portion, all the soft material that's in between those two membranes. They eat, and that's what causes this. In each one of these little tri-shaped seed cases, there is one seed. You see that seed there? Now, if you collect those seeds, I can do a really good close-up. See, here's the seed, really close up. But the seed can be used the same as quinoa. So you can make a cereal out of it, you can make pancakes out of it too. There's no gluten in it, so that's one of the things that helps regular flour stick together. The shuck of the seed, that's edible as well. I cut this one off to show you the harvesting of it. You just take it and pull it like that. So now, the shuck can be used same as all bran flour. You'll take that, you dry it and grind it, and like I said, use it same as all bran. I can't show you today because I'm still working on this. I want to find out how to separate the seeds from their shock, so I'll have that, like I said, a substitute for quinoa. So that'll be sometime in the future. But I'm going to harvest all of these seeds on this one now, and I'll set it aside and get it nice and dry, and then I'll find out how I'm supposed to get the seeds out. Now back to our flopped over lettuce and dill weed. For the dill, I've never used dill before, and I guess I'll be using it this year. I might harvest this just before the frost, but I think it would be a good idea to let this self-seed and keep a narrow strip straight across the bed. So I'm going to put a stake in beside each one. It doesn't have to be a very big stake because it's flopping over right at the root. Now I'll just take some jute twine, salsa twine, and tie it up against the stake. This way, if seeds fall, they'll fall in the bed, they won't be falling out on the lawn. Right now they're tipping out that way, but that's just because they were laying down. They will straighten up now, and they'll be growing up, should be growing up nice and straight. Now, as far as the lettuce goes, that's another reason why I need to straighten these up. Because one is that they're laying over on top of the beans. Can't have that. We're going to remove some of these and give them to the ends. I'm just going to leave two that if I want some lettuce, there'll be plenty there for me, and I only need two for seed. So, let's see what two I want to take up. I'm going to take this one up, toss them out there. And tie that one up. So that should be good. Just those two. Take that one. I'm going to leave those two right there so that there's these, leave them like they are right now, so that I will have some lettuce to give to the hens in a couple of days' time. Let's go with me. If you hear any really loud squawking, the roosters are starting to fight. So I've got to start chopping heads before I end up with a half-starved rooster. I have a hook put in the ceiling and a string tied to it. Now, if you watch my garlic harvest video, you'll see the same. I'm doing the same thing as I've done tying up those garlic, and I'm putting the root ball through. So that's not down far enough. I'm going to have to lower it. That was mating. So now you see we have a lettuce hanging there. I have 3 more. I have one to put here just beside you, another string just beside you. So I'm going to put those 3 in. Yeah, the rooster made a couple pecks at it. Oh, okay, here's another one. We have 2 roosters there now pecking at that one. Those ends are quite, what do you call it, mild? You see, they're starting to peck at it. And then I have another one over there that they're starting to peck at. I'm going to use the pruners and cut the stalks off and bring them inside to strip because it'll be much easier in there. That's our update. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you sometime next week.